I met a gentleman at the European Round Table from East Germany very soon after the Berlin Wall came down. He was a pastor of a large church, a high-profile pastor who spoke admirable English, and he had been recruited by a number of Western agencies as their representative in the new free East Germany. And he acted as representative in terms of connecting people with churches and Christian groups in East Germany, and also representing those churches and Christian groups back to the expatriate agencies to share their needs, explain the kinds of things which would be appropriate. After he'd been doing this work for about a year, he had become very uncomfortable because he received, quite naturally, the publicity magazines from each of the agencies with which he was connected. And it seemed to him that they were exaggerating by a factor of 5 or 6 the number of people who were becoming Christians as a result of the ministry that was taking place in East Germany. After a while, he managed to research where those figures had come from and discovered that, in fact, what was happening was simply that each one was representing the fruit of their joint activities as though they alone were the agency that had brought about the response to the gospel. So effectively, they were not just double counting, but they were counting 6 or 7 times the number of people who had made professions of faith at their joint presentations of the gospel in various places. Now, when Wolfgang, the gentleman that I'm talking about, realized what was happening, he called a meeting of the leadership of the expatriate agencies and said, you realize just how serious this can be, not just from the point of view of your credibility with your supporting constituency, but in terms of your credibility here in the country. You need to find a way to express your excitement at what God is doing in East Germany in a way that reflects that all of you are doing this, and this is not 6 different people doing, or 6 different agencies doing 6 different things. As a result, they came to an agreement about how they would describe what happened. They would talk about being a part of a wider outreach. They would talk about being in partnership with 5 other agencies as they were doing this kind of ministry, and give the credit to those who were in partnership with them, while at the same time representing their own legitimate part in that outreach. And so by sharing credit in this kind of way and coming to an agreement as to how it should be described and expressed, they were able again to re-establish trust between themselves and with the East German church, which was becoming uncomfortable with the way that these things had been described.